something in themselves, he said. Afraid of being shown up, of not understanding. Or, more likely, the opposite. They would be led to understanding themselves, and it scared the shit out of them. Daniel snorted. They said they didn't have time for it, which was the biggest joke of all. Jude pulled the sheet up to her chin. The day felt sticky already. The sheet was cool over her clammy body. What would happen if she did not wake one of these mornings? If she died one night in her bed? Nobody would know. Days would pass. Eventually, Daniel would call and get no answer. Then what? They had never discussed this. What to do if she died in her bed. Last Christmas, Sylvie was here, and this one she wasn't. And now they were going to clear out the Bitto's house. Take anything you want, Gail had said to them from Dublin in an email. Have a holiday. How you could think of cleaning your dead friend's house a holiday. But it was Christmas, and Gail felt guilty for flitting off back to Ireland and leaving it to them. So, take anything you want. There was nothing Jude wanted. She couldn't speak for the others. Sylvie had been in the ground for 11 months. The memorial had been in the restaurant, unrecognisable now from the old days. Everything but the name had gone, and there was beautiful food and good champagne, good speeches. Wendy spoke brilliantly, honestly, poetically. Gail lurched with a silent, terrible sobbing, with Sylvie's poor, sad brother Colin beside her, unable to touch Gail for comfort. He was 81. He'd been a greenkeeper at the golf club in their hometown, stayed long after the rest of the family left, never managed to get over his sister being gay. In the end, Sylvie went where nobody expected, an old-fashioned burial in Monavale next to her parents. To this part, Jude and Wendy and Adele went with Colin, and Gail and Andy and Electra from the old days. They all stood in the hot cemetery with a sympathetic priest. A priest for Sylvie! And Jude had picked up a handful of dirt and thrown it down. Strange that in all these years it was the first time she'd ever done that, or even seen it done outside a film. She felt silly, squatting in the dirt, scrabbling in the dry gravel with her polished nails. But when she stretched and flung and let the earth rain down on Sylvie's coffin, a breath of awful sorrow swept through her, up and out of her body into the deafening, glittering white noise of the cicadas. Sylvie was dead and felt no pain. They had said goodbye. Nothing was left to regret. But she was still in there, in that box, under the weight of all that earth, her cold little body rotted away. Gail said she looked peaceful at the end. But that wasn't peace. It was absence of muscle tone, of life. Being dead made you look younger, it was a fact. Jude had seen 6 or 7 dead faces now, and they all, in the moment after life left, smoothed out and looked like their much younger selves, even like babies once or twice. How long did it take a corpse to rot? Sylvie would screech at a question like that. You're so ghoulish, Jude. The ceiling fan in her bedroom rotated slowly, ticking above her. Her life was as clean and bare as a bone, bare as that white blade, its path through the unresisting air absolutely known, unwavering. This should be a comfort. It was a comfort. The rooms of her apartment were uncluttered by the past. Nobody would have to plough through dusty boxes and cupboards full of rubbish for Jude. She lay in her bed and thought of cathedrals. And she thought of animals. rats beneath the floorboard.